I inherited the house from my great-aunt Eleanor. A name I barely remembered, a face I couldn't recall. The legal documents called it the Larkspur Estate, a decaying Victorian home perched at the top of a forested hill in Maine. No one in the family had lived there in decades. When I arrived, the house greeted me like a held breath. The air was stale, like something had been waiting. The front door creaked open before I touched it. Inside, the temperature dropped. Wallpaper peeled like scab skin. A thick layer of dust blanketed every surface, except for one room, the piano room. Its floor was clean, air warm. In the center stood a grand black piano, polished to a mirror-like shine. The lid was closed, the bench neatly pushed in. Above it hung a portrait of a woman with her back turned to the viewer, standing at the same piano. The first night, I couldn't sleep. I heard music, faint, distant, flowing like water through the floorboards. It was a piano piece, slow, melancholic, beautiful in a way that made my chest hurt. But the piano room was locked. I'd made sure of it. At 3:12 a.m., the music stopped abruptly. When I entered the room the next morning, everything was in place, except the piano lid. It was open now, and on the bench lay a single sheet of blank music paper. It smelled like lavender and ashes. I found her journal in a drawer upstairs, tucked behind old tea tins and dried herbs. The house feeds on memory. The more you recall, the deeper it reaches. He plays through me now, the composer, the gentleman in black. If you ever hear your own hands playing while you dream, wake up before the key turns. I read it twice and closed the book. Nonsense, I told myself. But when I returned to the piano room, the bench was pulled out, and someone had begun writing on the sheet of music. 5 notes, just 5, and I recognized the melody from the night before. 2 nights later, I saw it. The portrait above the piano, the woman had turned slightly. Now, instead of her full back, I could see the edge of her pale cheek. Her hand rested on a key. Her fingers were too long. Her dress had changed too. It was darker, tighter. That night, I dreamed of sitting at the piano, playing those 5 notes, over and over, unable to stop. My fingers moved without me. Behind me, in the dream, I heard someone whisper, "Let me finish the song." I woke up with dried blood under my fingernails. The next evening, the 6th note appeared on the sheet. I didn't write it. I hadn't touched the piano since I arrived. But it kept writing itself, 1 note at a time, every night. I tried burning the page. The fire refused to catch. And when I returned the next morning, the 6th note was still there. But now my name was scrawled faintly in the margins. Below it, 3 words. Play it once. Just once. That's all it ever takes. I gave in. Just once. Just to prove it meant nothing. I sat at the piano, placed my hands on the keys, and played the first 6 notes from the sheet. The 7th note was missing, but my fingers moved on their own. They knew it. The moment I struck it, the temperature dropped. The lights flickered. The portrait above the piano smiled. Her face was now fully turned, eyes open, wide, empty. From the bench, I could see something reflected inside the piano's glossy lid. Not me. A man in a black suit, standing behind me with no face. I turned around. No one there. I locked the piano room. I boarded it shut. But every night, I heard the music. Now faster, twisted, frantic. The notes changed rooms. They followed me through the house. Mirrors began to fog over from the inside. My own reflection started to lag behind. In Eleanor's journal, buried in the final page, written backwards, "The song is never finished." That's the curse. Every new player adds a note. And when the sheet is full, he walks free. The sheet now had 12 notes. And I swear last night, I heard a second piano start playing in the basement. Tonight, I woke up with ink on my fingers. The music sheet was full. 17 notes. My name was at the top and below it Eleanor's, and a dozen others. I ran, but the front door opened to the piano room. Every door led back there now. The portrait above the piano is empty. The woman is gone. The bench pulled itself out, waiting, and the lid rose slowly. Inside the piano, there's no strings, only teeth. I'm writing this as the keys begin to press on their own, playing the final bar. If someone finds this, don't play it. Don't finish the song. Let it die silent, or he'll come back.